know it's the O. We're here to say, this ain't no joke, cause we're here today. Yo, you know it's the O. We're here to say, this ain't no joke, cause we know the way.
Welcome to O.L.A. Insights. I'm your host, CJ Adams.
And I'm your host, L. White.
And today we're going to be talking about why YouTube Shorts is better than TikTok.
Well, in my opinion, I think TikTok is way better.
Really? What makes you say that?
Because TikTok, in my opinion, makes me feel alive. I feel like when I scroll on TikTok, I can laugh, I can smile, I can just be myself when I scroll. And I can also see other videos where people do get ready with me, where they tell you how to do your hair and like what they put on their face or what they wear, and just give you encouragement.
Well, on YouTube Shorts, you can watch other people struggle for the fun of yourself. In my opinion, epic fail videos are the funniest things on the internet.
Well, I disagree and agree. I agree because, yeah, a good laugh is okay. But I disagree because seeing people fail, it's kind of sad because, they fail and we don't like to see, fail. But TikTok can make your whole day.
Well, there's also the Minecraft Let's Plays and the speed runs. For example, he's a famous Minecraft YouTuber. I'm sure you might have heard of him once or twice. His name is associated with sleeping, but we can't say it due to copyright issues. Anyway, he was the person who invented the Minecraft speedrun, and he started off using one hunter with his good friend, somebody who was not found. Then he added some more friends, and it became this whole series. It started off with one hunter, then two, then three, then four, and as of present day, we have 5 hunters. Soon we think he's going to add a 6th, just to keep going. And it's been a back and forth. The sleep guy hasn't always won. He sometimes wins, sometimes loses, just to keep the fans excited. And he always pulls crazy clutches, like the ender pearl clutch falling off the end and then knocking off one of the hunters, or the water bucket clutch, or the water pearl and kill the dragon clutch. He does this repeatedly every single time, and he makes you excited.
Well, with TikTok, kind of how you said with the Minecraft person, we all had a famous person, and that person was Addison Rae or Charli D'Amelio. Charli D'Amelio in like 2019, 2020 was like the most famous person of all. She made TikTok videos, she made all of this, and for some reason she stopped. Well, she didn't stop making videos, but she kind of died down on them. But same thing with Addison Rae. They were the famous people on TikTok, and they made different trends, different videos, and all types of stuff. And they even made songs.
And then there's the other YouTubers. Like, a lot of YouTubers get really rich off of their videos. For example, there's Mr. Animal. And he gives away money all the time because he's making so much that he literally has nothing to do with it. He's bought everything he could have already. He's even given away his credit card a couple times.
Well, some of the YouTubers you're naming, those are like kind of for boys and girls. I know YouTube and TikTok, they're like for everybody, but some boys, some girls won't like to, watch that. But with TikTok, they can watch girls, boys, anybody. And they also have streaks, filters, sounds, and story making. And they also have a shop called TikTok Shop.
And then there's the part of YouTube that's for girls. You can look up basically anything on YouTube. Just make sure that it's from a trusted YouTuber. You can look up hairstyles and ways to get codes in Roblox and things like that. You could do practically anything with a YouTube search. You could get the information for any little thing or any big thing. You could literally get a DIY on how to build a house in the jungle using only leaves and a bucket of water.
With TikTok, back to what you said about the hairstyles, you can look up hairstyles, food recipes, and you can even click on a famous person's profile and click on their recipes, and their recipes will be there. Also, with TikTok, they have like different houses, like the Glow House, with basically it's just a group of girls. They come together, they collab, and they make all types of videos. And with TikTok, they also have features.
Well, I personally find him as cringe. This kid he has this entire world, and he's the most popular kid YouTuber ever. You may or may not have heard of him, but I can't say his name. Once again, copyright issues. He is the most famous kid YouTuber in the world, and he probably beats most of the TikTokers. The rules of his world literally bend to his own will, and it's a very educational channel, and he helps kids learn. So it's a favorite for parents and for kids.
Well, TikTok, again, they have teen artists, and with the trends, they have Get Ready With Me's, where they talk about getting their hair, their makeup, and what they're wearing, and some other trends like food trends, like the onion boil trends, and like the word trends, like nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday, and just a whole bunch of trends that people try and do, and yeah.
Back to this super famous kid YouTuber. He does mostly he does basically all of the stuff that school would do, and he's basically your third homeschool parent. He helps with math, science, English, history, and all that stuff. Just give your kid a basic knowledge and he'll do the rest.
So, when you said by like teen kids or teen artists, there's a whole bunch of people on TikTok who are teen kids and teen artists that, you know, donate food, money, clothes, and just help others around the world who's in need.
But YouTube has a much wider age range, basically doubling the amount that TikTok has.
Well, with TikTok, back to what you said about the age range, yes, YouTube has the wider age range, but with TikTok can be all ages. It just depends on your For You page, and like if you're 18 or older, basically a legal adult, so you could go like live or stream or anything, basically based on your age.
Now we're going to talk about a subject that's still controversial to this day. TikTok was banned. The reason being, it was not safe for our youth, including myself. They banned it because a kid scrolling could find some inappropriate things on there if they weren't careful enough.
But still it's here though. And that's partially why TikTok was getting banned, but no.
They brought it back because of a guilt trip, and they paid the guy who's in charge of this country.
Yes, but they also pushed it back. It was supposed to get banned in January, and they pushed it back to 90 days until mid-April or the beginning of April. Then they pushed it back again to now. And we don't know when else it's going to be banned, but personally, the whole world, or at least half of the world, thinks that TikTok shouldn't be banned, because before TikTok started, people were like, but when TikTok started, people were like, oh, okay, and stuff like that. And people made money on TikTok. All the views, all their supporters, they love, and now once it gets banned, it seems like their whole part of the world would be upset.
Now, this is another controversial thing. They may or may not have a correlation with each other, but TikTok emerged around the time that COVID started. I'm not saying that TikTok was related with COVID, but I'm saying that it was related with something that took the world by storm, something that makes me cringe whenever somebody mentions it around me. It's called brain rot, and I hate it. And coincidentally, or maybe not coincidentally, they emerged around the same time as TikTok. And even still, there's new brain rot words and creatures being created as we speak.
Well,
And we all know that brain rot is bad for your brain, as the name suggests.
Well, with TikTok, when it helped us come together, be a community, and like you said, with COVID and brain rot, YouTube can almost every social media platform can rot your brain. Depending on how much time you spend on there, it could damage your eyesight. It could make you become lazy, and all you would want to do is lay in your bed or lay somewhere in your house and just watch YouTube and TikTok or all other social media platforms. But with TikTok, like you said, when it started in COVID, right when it started in COVID, people had nothing to do. We was stuck home, had to wear masks, and just at home.
So TikTok didn't make people lazy. Lazy people made TikTok. And that's how this whole mess started, with TikTok and then brain rot and then everything else coming together to form one giant social media mess.
Well, they could go on TikTok, scroll, have a good laugh, a good little happy dance. And that's where all the trends came out. All the new dances. That's when Charli D'Amelio came out, Addison Rae. That's when all the famous people came out. And once they came out, that's when everybody else started putting their videos on. Then they became famous with over 2.8 billion likes. And it was a way to cope with people besides being isolated.
TikTok destroyed attention spans. Prior to COVID and the TikTok uprising, people would actually watch full videos. Nowadays, it's all about the shorts, 60 seconds or less. If it's more than 60 seconds, people are more likely than not going to scroll, unless it has a good plot.
Well, like you said about how it's an attention span, YouTube can be an attention span as well, depending on how long the video is. And sometimes when the famous people make like 2 hours or an hour videos, or even 30 minutes or more, they start to lose interest in the video. Because if you is watching the video and they got a good part, oh yeah, that's good, and then they start getting to other stuff and other stuff and other stuff, and it gets very boring, then that's when they I'm gonna go watch TikTok.
Either that or they'll go to YouTube Shorts, because YouTube Shorts actually allows for longer videos, up to 2 minutes and 30 seconds. While this might not seem like a lot of time, and it isn't, this does help undo the damage that TikTok did with their 60-second or less videos.
Well, TikTok has a branch of STEM, so you can learn and lay down.
I'm sorry, a branch of what?
STEM, sorry.
A branch of STEM. YouTube has an educational side as well. You just need to know where to look. The educational channels, unfortunately, aren't as popular as the ones which aren't educational. Typically, the only people subscribed will be the people who like learning, and the teachers and the parents.
Well, with TikTok, if you go on their For You page, up top there has 4 bars. There's your For You, there's your Following, there's your Explore, which Explore is just, you can just pictures of people, basically kind of like your For You page. Your Following is basically whoever you follow, and instead of just on your For You page looking for the videos, you can click Following, and that's where they will be. And also, TikTok is easier to use to search stuff. And back to when you said about STEM or the YouTube learning sites, STEM is also on TikTok, where it talks about space, science, math, engineering, all types of stuff.
The problem with TikTok teaching about space is that there isn't enough time to get deep into a point. Like, for example, black holes. You can't do an entire video on black holes because there's not enough time. Not even 2 minutes. 1 minute isn't enough to talk about TikTok. To talk about black holes.
Well, if you wanted to look at more space and black holes, you could search it up on TikTok, and it will show you plenty of videos. Or you can go to other platforms like movie sites like Disney Plus. They have talks about the earth, the animals, all of that.
Let's talk about the stability of a channel. YouTube channels are much more stable. Even though they have a slower growth, they have a much higher long-term return. Now, you give your point for TikTok in its longevity.
Well, with TikTok, they have more ways to do things and also have more contributions to make a video or post or just hang out.
Okay, let's see. TikTok might have more daily engagement, but YouTube has a much larger total audience. This means that you can reach more people. Even though slower, you can reach more people over a long time. And let's see. You plan on living pretty long, don't you? You're going to need a lot of money in the future. So if you plan on starting a YouTube channel, choose YouTube for a better return.
Well, with TikTok, TikTokers also make money. They make money by making videos, they do hauls, get ready with me, and they also get paid to make the videos that they do. They get paid to do food reviews, paid to do trends, paid to do just any type of thing. And TikTok has a more audience.
TikTok might have more of a fast audience, but YouTube has much more of a consistent audience. This means that you'll be able to see a lot more. Also, sometimes if you just want to relax and go and fall to sleep to some sounds, just throw on a YouTube video of the ocean. It's that simple. Or the wind and the waves hitting the shore.
Well,
TikTok can't do that because their videos are only 60 seconds, and once the video's over, it makes you go to the next thing, which could probably be someone screaming into their microphone for no reason.
well, with TikTok, about what you said about the minutes, TikTok now has 10-minute videos, so you can make a video and rewatch anything. And our attention span needs more engagement. YouTube is more informative, and y'all want to be more interactive and dance or sing. And with TikTok, about what you said about the videos, you can watch ASMR videos, and those videos be like 10 minutes tops. And TikTok is more protective of their audience and their comments by, if you want to search up anything that's not really appropriate on TikTok, you cannot search this site, or this site is not appropriate for your age.
Well, YouTube has a lot of long-term monetization. The best YouTube channels have been going for at least 5 years. 7 years is typically around the peak, and then after 10 years, they start falling off. But this means that but once you hit that 7-year mark, you can just start a new channel doing basically the same stuff, and nobody will even notice, as long as you put it under a different name with a different logo.
Well, making YouTube, like what you said about making like a new channel, and if their channel dies down, I don't think they would want to be like, hey, let me make another video, all for it to just go down in the next 7 years.
And then you start again. This way you can make more money in a cycle that keeps on working.
Well, with TikTok, you can make more money by just making videos and doing a whole bunch of stuff. People get paid on TikTok.
And then there's the other parts of YouTube. We have YouTube, then there's YouTube Kids, the clean version of YouTube where you can watch videos that are somewhat educational and somewhat fun at the same time. Then there's YouTube Music. YouTube Music is a platform that is solely for music, and you can listen to it and cue different songs on and stream them. You can also use your YouTube Music to connect to other videos.
Well, before we end this talk show, I want to say one more thing about TikTok, about what you said. About what you said about music, TikTok has mashups, meaning that whatever mashup that you have, or whatever music they put in, you could dance to, you could sing to, you could vibe with it, and you could just make everything about you.
Personalization is a good quality. However, YouTube is built for a more general audience with a lot of middle-aged people. Not middle-aged, young adults.
Well, TikTok has more daily engagement, and they have a younger audience, meaning that most young people go on TikTok to basically vibe, to scroll. They can make videos, and someday in their life, their video will blow up over 1 million views or 1 million likes or followers, and they will eventually start making more videos and getting famous.
But YouTubers are switching over to TikTok because they already have a very large fan base on YouTube. So now they're expanding over to a different platform. This is the YouTube takeover of TikTok. The two are in a competition, and they'll eventually spiral in towards each other, and more likely than not, emerge as a new company, with YouTube being dominant.
Before we wrap up, we just want to say thank you for listening. Keep creating, keep scrolling, and stay smart.
We're your hosts, CJ Adams and L. White.
Signing off. Bye.
Bye.